In the molten shimmer of a desert noon, where the horizon quivers like a silver blade held above the earth, and every grain of sand burns with the memory of ancient suns, a fragile miracle moves against the heat. It is a creature so small it could vanish between the lines of your palm, yet so exquisitely engineered for survival that its very existence feels like a defiance whispered into the furnace of the Sahara. This is the silver ant, Cataglyphis bombycina, the desert's fleeting phantom, a flash of living metal racing across one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. Its world is a realm where life hangs by threads thinner than breath, where temperatures soar so high that even the desert's fiercest predators retreat into shadow. But the silver ant does not hide, it rises. The sun, merciless and unrestrained, floods the dunes with a heat that can climb past 70 degrees Celsius, conditions lethal to almost all creatures of this domain. Yet this is the hour the silver ant chooses to emerge. The timing is deliberate, precise, and evolutionary perfection. It steps into the open at the exact moment when its greatest enemy, the Saharan desert ant-eating lizard, collapses into the safety of its burrow, overwhelmed by the unbearable heat. For just a brief window, mere minutes, the silver ant rules the desert, a sovereign of blazing light. Its body gleams like polished chrome, each hair on its exoskeleton shaped like a tiny three-dimensional prism that scatters and reflects sunlight. These hairs, hollow and triangular, form a natural armor that sends infrared radiation spiraling back into the sky, shielding the ant from death by heat. Beneath this shimmering coat, a cooler truth pulses. The ant maintains a body temperature closer to the very edge of survivability than almost any known animal. If it rises even a few degrees more, its proteins will unravel, cells collapsing as if scorched from within. The ant knows this, instinctively, intimately, and so it runs. Its movements are frantic yet purposeful, legs stretching long and spidery, lifting its body higher above the sand where the air is a fraction cooler. Each step is a dance between survival and annihilation. The silver ant can sprint faster than any ant of its size, up to 1 meter per second, propelled by a desperate biological calculus that leaves no room for hesitation. To slow down is to die. To wander aimlessly is to vanish. To succeed is to return home with enough food to sustain the colony through the burning silence of the afternoon. Beneath the sand, hidden from the brutal sky, lies the nest, a labyrinth of chambers engineered with astonishing precision. Here, temperatures plunge to survivable depths, falling by dozens of degrees within mere centimeters. The workers below attend to brood that looks like pale beads of life, larvae curled in delicate loops, their bodies soft and vulnerable. They depend entirely on the foragers above, who risk their existence each day to bring back the bodies of desert insects felled by heat. The silver ant is not a hunter, but a scavenger of the fallen, nature's swift collector of those who could not withstand the sun's fury. A forager emerges onto the dune, her antennae unfurling like living instruments. Chemical trails evaporate quickly in the desert's dryness, so she must rely on something else. A celestial compass anchored to the movement of polarized light in the sky. Human eyes cannot see this woven tapestry of invisible angles, but to the silver ant it is a radiant map, shifting and unfolding with the sun's arc. She measures distance with her steps, counting each one with the accuracy of a living metronome. Even a slight miscalculation could doom her. In this landscape, a single wrong turn is a death sentence. She sprints across the sand, a streak of quicksilver carving erratic lines between scattered husks of heat-killed beetles and flies. Time presses against her exoskeleton like a second skin. The colony can forage for only 10 minutes each day before the temperature exceeds even the limits their anatomy allows. The ant senses the rising heat, an invisible tide climbing toward her. She must find food, now. At last she does, the body of a termite soldier, its form curled and still. a victim of the day's inferno. She examines it swiftly, tasting its chemistry, confirming it is safe. Then she does something extraordinary. She memorizes the terrain. Silver ants possess an unparalleled ability known as path integration, calculating angles and distance simultaneously to store a mental line straight back to the nest. No hesitation, no uncertainty. She grips the termite's body and turns, racing home with the precision of an arrow. But the desert is never gentle. A shifting breeze unleashes a wave of heat that pulses across the dune, the temperature climbing minute by minute. The ant's physiology begins to strain. Her thermal sensors detect danger. Her metabolic rate surges. She runs harder. Each footfall lands for just milliseconds, her legs a blur, 6 tiny limbs cutting across the sand with desperate grace. The shimmer of the nest entrance appears ahead, a dark crack between 2 grains of stone. She dives downward, vanishing into the cool sanctuary below. Around her, workers gather the corpse she carried, slicing it into smaller portions to feed larvae and queens. The forager rests, her body trembling with exhaustion, her hair still hot from the sun. As the desert roars outside, the nest breathes with quiet purpose. Here the queen reigns, her abdomen heavy with the promise of future generations. She is tended with reverence, fed the richest offerings, protected at all costs. Her survival is the colony's destiny. Her scent defines their borders, shapes their unity, binds their purpose. She will lay thousands of eggs in her lifetime, each a fragile seed of endurance beneath a sky that often feels intent on ending life altogether. Hours pass. The sun finally loosens its grip, sinking toward the jagged line of distant dunes. Shadows lengthen like cooling rivers. Temperatures drop from lethal to merely harsh. And in the safety of this transition, the silver ant colony hums with renewed energy, repairing tunnels, tending brood, distributing food, reinforcing chambers. Communication flows through pheromones, through vibrations, through instinct older than the desert itself. Above ground, night draws across the sand like a silk curtain. The heat evaporates into the sky. Stars kindle, cold, sharp, indifferent. But beneath, the silver ants rest in a darkness of their own making, surrounded by the memory of heat, the imprint of danger, the promise of another brutal dawn. Tomorrow, they will rise again. Tomorrow, they will run again. Tomorrow, they will gamble their lives against the desert's blazing wrath for the sake of their queen, their brood, their fragile, iridescent empire. For the silver ant exists not because the desert is kind, but because evolution has carved brilliance into hardship, sculpted beauty from brutality, and taught a creature no larger than a whisper to run across fire as though it were merely another path home.